This is Matt for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store. Delighted to be joined for the first time in what seems like forever, Jordan Gill. Jordan, first off, before we talk boxing, why you're here and what's next for you? How are we? How are we doing?
I'm good, I'm good. Can't complain.
Last time we saw you out, obviously, Kiko Martinez, things didn't go your way that night. Have you had sort of a bit of downtime to reflect? We know, obviously, competitive sport, fighters, it's probably not the physical pain, it's the mental side of it and getting yourself back up for it. Are you preparing to go now and get back out there?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've had a long time out just chilling, got my feet up, got fat, trying to get rid of the old chins, and looking forward to getting fighting again, maybe April, maybe May. Looking forward to getting out.
What's the type of opponent we're looking at? Obviously, we know what a win over Kiko would have done for you and where that would have pushed you, but you were long talked about fighting the likes of Isaac Lowe and other fighters. Isaac's recently come back to life on Twitter and mentioned you again, and that seems like something's brewing there again. Is that the right fight for you to come back in, or are you going to come back, shake off maybe a bit of rust and sort of get back into the swing of things before you go in there with Isaac? What's the plan for you, do you think?
I mean, the plan for me, I like the Isaac Lowe fight. I think that's a good fight. I think it's a fight that everyone can sink their teeth into and the fans would enjoy. I think it's a fight that would build well, and he don't like me. I'm not too keen on him, so it's a fight there to be made. But I think for me, like Dave said to me, that the plan is come back at 130. I'm going up to super feather, and I'm coming back at 130, so he's going to give me maybe 8 or 10 rounder against a solid opponent to see how I feel at the weight, and then we'll look to make the Isaac Lowe fight.
Absolutely, and Isaac Lowe normally performs on Tyson Fury's undercard. Talks of that happening at Wembley for all the marbles. How much of a buzz is that for you to sort of see that big fight coming into your horizons? Because sometimes it can be seen as a long way back when you take a defeat, but you could be thrust straight back into the limelight. A big performance over Isaac Lowe on an undercard like that chucks you right back in there, doesn't it?
It does. For me, it doesn't matter what show it's on. The fight is the fight. They bring it could be anywhere in the world, and it's exciting prospect to be in the mix. But obviously, no one likes getting beat. It's frustrating that I lost when I feel like I should have won that fight. But it wasn't my night. I didn't do certain things well, and certain things didn't go my way. But you can't dwell on it too much. You need to work out what you've done wrong, correct a few things. I'm going up to 130, and I'm looking forward to a new challenge. And like I said, when you lose at world level, you only have 1 or 2 good wins back to that level. So I think, come back April, May time, get a good fight under my belt, fight Isaac in the summer, and then I'll be back to that level and looking forward to some big fights.
When you look at examples of that, obviously Leigh Woods done it the hard way, and he continues to choose to have it the hard way because of his voluntary. He's picked Mauricio Lara, but is he an example of, a few losses don't define your career? You mean, look at the likes of Maxi Hughes as well. He's had, I think, 5 losses, but he's on a bit of an upward trajectory. Obviously picked up an IBO title. These are the type of fighters you look at and go, a loss, it really isn't all that. We can reclimb that mountain again, and like Leigh's headlining in Nottingham, he's potentially going to have a city ground fight depending on how everything goes. They're the examples you look to.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's more examples like that than the other way around. I mean, how many unbeaten world champions are there, or like that finished their career unbeaten and set the top forever? Everyone gets beat. It's this boxing, it's this sport. Not everyone's Floyd Mayweather. So you can't dwell on a loss. You have to learn and improve and get better. And experience is the biggest factor in boxing. I think all these experiences add to a fighter's mentality, add to a fighter's experience, and make them who they are. In the end, it's not where you are now. It's not how you start. It's where you end up. And if I can end up here where I want to be, Leigh's ended up as a world champion. There's been so many times that I've come back to the flat when we've been sharing a flat, and he's looked dejected and just down on life because he's not getting an opportunity, or he might have got injured, or he might have been coming back off a loss, and you know, these things happen, and I think the only time you ever fail is if you give up, and I'm not ready to give up yet.
Let's talk about the main man. Leigh's going in on Saturday against Mauricio Lara, big puncher. We saw what he did to Josh Warrington when he came over. He seems to have that bit between his teeth as well, everything he's saying. I mean, everything seems to be personal with him, whether it's him and Josh, him and Leigh. He's saying a lot of bad things. What do you make of the fight as a whole, and how does your boy get the victory tonight?
I think it's a great fight. It's an exciting fight. It's a fight that's got a good narrative because, you know, Lara's come over, he's done what he's done to Warrington. Leigh's, you know, grabbing the ball by the horns, and he's meeting the challenge head on. This is a voluntary defence, and I know why Leigh's picked this fight, and you know, it's an exciting prospect. I think, you know, Lara has power. He has massive power, and he is explosive, and he'll jump in with shots, and he'll come from angles that you don't see. But you know, Leigh's got a good team behind him. He's studied. He knows what he's got to do. He knows the tactics. I think tactics will be key tonight, and I think. I just think I wouldn't be surprised if it's a fight that goes 2 or 3 rounds maximum. I can see Leigh take him out early, or, you know, my latest prediction, my predictions keep changing all the time, but I think maybe even middle rounds, maybe it's between 6 and 8. I think Leigh will take him out. I think, you know, the key for Leigh will be body work. He needs to take something out of Lara, because you see Lara, he'll jump in with the big shots. He'll put everything into his shots. He's got mean intentions, as you can see. But that takes its toll, and you know, after 2 or 3 rounds, after he shows the body shots that he gets hurt with. You know, after 2 or 3 rounds, his mouth is open, he is breathing through his mouth, and I just think, you know, one thing about Leigh is very resilient, he's very tough, he's very fit, he's got a good engine on him, and he'll be there until the end. You're gonna have to nail him to the floor tonight. I think they're not the title staying in Nottingham.
Yeah, I'm going to say, if it's all like the last performance, grit, heart, determination, he showed everything. Look, Jordan, I appreciate you giving us some of your time. I know you're having some lunch with the boys, so I won't keep you too long. We look forward to seeing you back, and thanks for talking to Boxing Social.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.